What do all these great fighters have in common when it comes to the lead hook? Quite possibly the most beautiful punch when it hits its mark as intended is a topic up for much discussion or debate when it comes to the setup and execution of the shot, as well as initially learning the fundamentals and body mechanics of it. Please join me in exploring and breaking down the three in all its glory, as well as a ton of drills to help develop your lead hook into a reliable utility punch to devastate and disrupt the opposition in spectacular fashion. And as always, please remember to like and subscribe if you found this video informative or if you just like boxing. Now let's consult the pound-for-pound king of the 90s, aka Captain Hook, Roy Jones Jr. on the body mechanics of the three.
Y'all must have forgot! Out here, you create a pull position. So I can keep on going. I got a system right there. See that?
Right.
It's much harder to do that like this.
Right.
It does a natural pull that way.
Right.
Push a punch.
And it takes a lot more time. Whole lot more time. So, he'll just demonstrate, and he's throwing one hook, okay? The power that he has on his left hook is incredible. Okay, so he's
Shout out to Coach Tom Yankello and his world-class boxing channel. Check him out if you want to learn great tips, tutorials, and lost arts of the sweet science forgotten in time.
as many as he wants.
So what Roy and Coach Tom were breaking down was the fact that because Roy turns his hook over and puts his thumb up on the punch, that is what allows him to triple and quadruple the left hook over and over again with such speed and ferocity, is because he turns that punch over. Whether you load all the weight on the front foot, shifting and ripping the weight back to your back foot when you throw the lead hook like the great Mike Tyson, or you maintain weight on the back foot through the whole punch like Ryan Garcia, the principle of turning your punches over remains the same. Now we'll take some advice from the guy who beat your favorite fighter.
Patton sticking to it.
They're doing it like this. Their hands is not turning. So when you're on the pass, your hands must turn. I'm not just doing like this. A lot of y'all fighters is just doing that. Hands turning. 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 Hands turning.
I discovered during my research that turning the hook over was less of an American thing like I assumed and more of an elite thing.
Greatest Latin fighter, you should know who he is.
Oscar.
What the fuck you say?
I mean, who is it?
Who is the best Latin fighter ever? Duran.
Roberto Duran.
Duran landed a good left that hurt Leonard, pushed him back.
Side of Hagler's head.
C, also confirmed by Triple G.
All body.
Before we break down some drills that are going to help you develop your lead hook, I've been talking a lot about principles, general principles for your punches and for your boxing in general. Let's start with what Floyd was talking about, which is turning over your punches. So if I go thumbs out, just for the sake of the demonstration, all 6 of the basic punches you learn in boxing need to be turned over. That's how I would teach a new fighter. So the jab, We don't jab like this. We turn our jab over, like a drill at the end of it. It's gonna help us get a little extra length, and that's how it's gonna give us that shoulder snap. Turning that jab, the same thing with the straight right hand. Boom. Turn them both over. Boom, boom. Right? We don't go boom, boom. Now with the hooks, it's the same deal. This is not turning over the hook. This is turning over the hook. This is turning over the hook. Same thing with the four. Same thing with the uppercuts. Boom, they turn out. Boom, you turn the shot. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drop down when you're throwing that two to load your lead leg and snap back up into it. That's not the only way to do it. You can keep weight on the back foot. People will call it a slapping hook, but you do it right, there ain't no slap involved. Tell me if you can hear the difference. Now I'm on my front foot. I pull my weight back to the back foot to generate the power. Now the other way, I don't have to dedicate so much weight to that front foot. I'm more so keeping the weight on the back foot while I shoot the two and just spinning the shoulders and the foot, of course. And it's all about coming back. Everything in boxing, if you want a good punch, if you want to drill specific punches and develop them and make them as good as possible, it's not just about throwing it out. I always tell the kids I'm training, if I say throw a jab and they do this, and I say you're not done yet, you have to bring it back. And as fast as you put it out is how fast you have to bring it back, and that's with all the punches. And that's what's going to help you really develop power when you're hooked. So if I drill the one, and I know it's all about bringing it back, and I drill the two the same way, it's not just, but it's the part or the act of yanking it back and putting my foot back down to 90 degrees is what gives me power on the hook. Nothing to do with bicep and all that stuff. That's just extra. But if I'm here, and I yank that elbow back to my hip, now if I put the hook behind that too, now we're talking power. Right? That's what we're talking about. There's a lot of contention with the lead hook, with the thumb up and the thumb down. Whereas with an uppercut, we can all pretty much agree on what a good uppercut is supposed to look like. Most people will teach shooting the uppercut off a defense because it's not wise to lead with the uppercut unless the guy is hurt already or he's exposed or he has a propensity to get hit with the uppercut. If he's wide open for the uppercut, maybe he would lead with an uppercut, but normally no. Everybody knows, or most people teach, go uppercut off of a defense like a slip. So if I slip, I'm loading my back foot to shoot the right uppercut. Or if I slip to the outside, load the lead leg and fire up into it. Right? That's a good uppercut. Boom! And obviously, we're not going boom. We're not dropping, lifting. If we're gonna drop with the punch. So I'm gonna drop and then come up with the punch to minimize the amount of time that I'm unprotected. I'm gonna shoot off the line and dig up into that punch. That's the uppercut, boom. And then you hook off the uppercut, boom, boom. We would all agree that that's how you throw an uppercut, but a lot of guys want to throw the hook like this. A lot of guys want to throw it off of another principle other than just turning over the punches is going to be using the body mechanics of the punches to defend yourself while you're punching. For example, the jab. If I shoot a jab I want my shoulder as the punch is out to protect the whole left side of my head. The further my rear end is this way and my head is this way as a counterbalance, the more that shoulder is gonna protect the left side of my face. You know, like so. And same thing when you shoot the right hand. Keep your left hand up when you're shooting it to defend yourself. And the hook. A lot of the clips you see of these beautiful highlight reel knockouts from Sugar Ray Robinson are deep into a 15-round fight. So a lot of times, when you're talking about over a half hour, 40 minutes of combat, technique goes out the window. But when you're training in the gym, it's gotta be perfect. You gotta train it perfect. So these dudes that have immaculate technique in the ring, it really is something special. It's something special that they're able to pull this out with all the pressure, with all the lights and whatnot going on. That when you throw this hook, your forearm is gonna protect the front of your face if you miss. That's a part of the principle. So when I shoot this hook, bring my hip back to dig that hook in there, I want it to be peeking over it like a neighbor peeking over your fence. Boom. Just in case I throw it too far out and the guy wants to throw a straight punch, it's gonna clip my forearm, right? And if you come this way, that hook's defending the left side of my face. That's how you drill the hook. You drill the hook with perfect defense built into it. So once you start getting wild and you're throwing it all kind of crazy ways, you got more of a chance of it defending your face. When I was taught the hook as a kid, I was taught to turn the foot, turn that front foot. As I got older, I realized that's not the best way to teach a new kid how to throw the punch, but it worked for me. And I would still use it to help a kid learn if he wasn't able to figure out how to incorporate the hip. Now, the way I would teach somebody now is the same way we number these punches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A good way for me to teach the numbers of 1 through 6 in boxing is you learn them in order. The jab should be the first punch you learn, and they're weighed by importance. So if the 1 is the most important punch, it's the 1. The 2 is the second most important punch. The lead hook is the third most important punch, in my opinion. 1 and 2 are the most important because straight punches win fights. Straight punches are the safest to throw. You got to get a little more in the fire to throw that 3, but the 3 is so versatile because you don't need to turn your foot. Like a 4, you got to turn your foot. A 2, you got to turn your foot. A 6, you got to turn your foot. A 1, 3, and a 5, you don't necessarily have to turn your foot. But it's nice because when you hook off the jab, you're unpredictable. One of the final principles I want to cover before we get into the drills is moving your head on punches. Now I have an entire video about this, the JTO Boxing head movement drills video. If you guys find that, maybe I'll pin a comment under this video, which is going to bring us to our first drill, which is just standing next to the bag, not facing it, but standing next to it in perfect position for a nice level hook, just like that. Remember, we want it protecting the front of our face. What I didn't break down, which I won't get too deep into, is when this is straight in front of your face, level with your shoulders, that puts your shoulders and hips on the same plane, so there's no break in the lever, no break in the mechanics of your body. So no power will be lost in translation. If my hips and my shoulders are together and my whole arm is on level with my shoulders, there is no wasted transfer of energy through the body. You know, if you have a lever and it's pulling on something, you know the longer the level is, the more power is generated. If there's any break in that lever, power is lost big time. So the drill is essentially just working the 1, 2, and the 3 next to the bag. Or the 6, or the 5, anything, just work next to the bag. You want to hide everything, all your punches. You want to hide your 2 behind your 1. You want to hide your 3 behind your 2, right? So don't wind up on your hooks like this, right here, boom. That is one way that you could justify the foot turn. The foot twist right here, boom. It makes that principle easier, boom. Without that, you just had to shoot by yanking your hip into it. Boom, boom, turn of the body, boom. So if you're gonna lead with the hook like that, without committing weight to the front foot, you just keep it here and drive that hip backwards. There's a lot of pop on that shot for there not being a tell. That's a tight, close quarters hook. That's what a hook should be. You shouldn't be throwing a hook out here. You should be throwing a jab. A hook is to disrupt, dispatch, dismantle, and destroy. To set up openings. I'm here. Off the jab. Now I can do it slip to the left off the jab. Come on. If Roy can do 4 hooks, all fast, all 4 with equal power, and my out of shape self can do it, it's a body mechanics issue. If you're in shape, you're fighting, and you can't throw 4 hooks super fast, all 4 really hard, it's not that you're not strong, it's not that you're not fast, it's not that you're not talented, it's that your mechanics is off. Here's 4 of them. I'm a little faster with 5 of them. Just born with that. You have to train that. You can't train it if you're not taught it. Now I'm using this resistance band to ensure I'm bringing my hand back to my face at a straight angle position. I'm turning my hips and my shoulders over, going to both the body and head, taking my head off the line as I punch. This is just drilling proper left hook mechanics with resistance, which is going to make you stronger and make it easier to do. This next drill, we're going to be moving up the cross ladder here with our left foot in the first square, and we're going to punch and step. The combination is 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2. This drill, every punch we throw with the right hand is straight. We're only changing the lead hand. This is going to help us establish lead hand dominance. As you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 2. You can mix it up how you throw it, but step and punch on each shot. Now you'll see me working a contraption I set up in the gym. I just call it the ring bag. It's like a focus mitt, electrical taped around the corner ring post. I got the idea off of this drill that I saw on Instagram, which I will include. This is great to drill the hook as well as other punches to help you set up angles. This is the drill I referenced. Shout out to this man. I believe his name's Coach O, and he's showing this young man how to throw the lead hook. And I really liked it, and I took and made a drill out of what he's showing this young man. My version of the drill that I've currently been implementing at the gym training clients is I throw the 3 as close as I can get it to the bag without hitting it. Then I throw a regular 3, and then I throw a 3 stepping to the right. This is really going to work the body mechanics of it And as long as you got a coach watching you and making sure that your shoulder's defending your face, you're really doing groundwork to ensure that that hook is going to be devastating on the move and stationary. Perhaps this is a better angle so you can see what my feet are doing. I'm just trying to keep that hook tight, throw it on a move, and make sure I'm defending myself. I want pop, speed, defensive capability, maneuverability, and adjustability. Now I'm sure I could make a whole video about angle switches and shifts and whatnot, but I can't think of a better way to practice your three than a drill that has you throwing it from both the orthodox and the southpaw stance, because it's going to get you used to the mechanics of it in two different ways, which is going to help you obviously understand the punch as a whole better. All we're doing for this drill is slipping the two, stance shifting to the southpaw stance, throwing a 3-2-3. Then we're going to presumably slip the jab once we're in the southpaw stance. That's going to shift us 90 degrees around and revert us back to the orthodox stance to throw another 3-2-3 from the orthodox stance. I'm going to break it down in the ladder here to make it a little bit easier for you guys. If you're not getting it right away, please pause the video and take your time and break it down. Everybody learns at their own pace. That is the advantage of being able to study in this long form content. Now here's some drills to build our very own masterful check hook. We're going to take a pre-step with the lead foot pointing the toes the same direction as the back foot. Then as we straighten the front toe back towards our opponent, we're going to slide or step our back foot to get back on our center line. As you do this, you got to make sure you're lifting your lead shoulder to protect your face from the right hand. That's what the check step is for. Now we're putting the hook on the step. Each time we step to the left, putting that hook on it. Now we're going to throw the check hook and spin 90 degrees just like Floyd did in the example video. Catching the opponent coming in, defending ourselves from the right hand as we throw the lead hook. Pivoting 90 degrees. Taking an angle on our opponent, being defensively responsible. Now we're going to put the right hand on the end of it. This is a beautiful drill to get you comfortable moving this way, creating this angle. Finally, anything like push-ups or speed bag work to build your shoulders, because in order to have a great hook, you're going to need strong shoulders to defend yourself while you throw it and generate maximum power. Guys, I really hope you're enjoying the content thus far. I'm having a blast providing it to you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe so that it'll give me a chance to do more of this with my time. I can't do it without your guys' support. When you support me, you're supporting youth sports. You're supporting a program that helps to try and keep kids off the street and help the community in whatever way we can. So with that being said, guys, peace and blessings, and I can't wait to catch y'all on the next JTO Boxing video. I'm out.